2025 is forcing many Americans to face a hard truth. Living in the familiar cities is becoming unlivable. Rent is rising, healthcare costs are rising, bills are rising, but retirement income stays the same. Many people once thought you can live anywhere in America, until 1,800 USD month is only enough to rent an ordinary apartment, and 50 years of working still can't buy a peaceful life. But there is one thing the media rarely says. America still has cities that are cheap, safe, clean, friendly, where a person can still live comfortably with only 400 to 2,000 USD month. Not remote towns, not places lacking amenities, but cities that are truly livable. Good hospitals, beautiful parks, friendly communities, pleasant climate, and most importantly, they don't swallow your retirement money. Today, we will go through the 10 cheapest cities to retire in America in 2025. Each place has its own soul, its own living standard, its own rhythm that really understands the needs of retirement. And who knows, in this list, you may find the place you're ready to call home for the next 10-20 years. Are you ready to see the first city? Dream it. Pack it. Go. 10 Youngstown, Ohio, where 1,320,600 USD month is enough for you to find a more breathable life again. Youngstown, Ohio is a rare example showing that America still has small corners where the cost of living doesn't suffocate you every month. This is the city where with only 1,300 to 1,600 USD month, a person can live comfortably, renting a clean one-bedroom apartment for 650 to 820 USD, spending 300 to 350 USD on food, 150 to 190 USD for utilities and internet, all within a range many Americans thought had disappeared with the era of an easier America. But low cost is not everything. Youngstown has what many older adults truly look for: a decent human pace of life. The city carries the breath of the Rust Belt, quieter, slower, but warmer. In the morning, people at the market remember your name. In the afternoon, stepping into Mill Creek Park, one of the most beautiful urban parks in the Midwest, you see lakes, oak forests, quiet trails, a feeling that's hard to find in the expensive cities on the East Coast. Healthcare here is also an unexpectedly bright spot. Hospital systems like Mercy Health, St. Elizabeth are strong enough for the daily needs of older adults: general checkups, cardiology, emergencies. Healthcare and medication costs are significantly cheaper than neighboring Pennsylvania, a major advantage for those living on Social Security. The climate has all 4 seasons. Fall is so beautiful, it makes you want to go outside every day. Summer is not too hot. Winter has snow, but is not as harsh as Michigan. In other words, the weather here has the classic feel of the Midwest. Distinct seasons, nothing extreme. Not every place is perfect. Youngstown has 2 major drawbacks. First, economic revitalization is still slow, meaning the downtown area still has old streets and some neighborhoods that haven't been upgraded. For retirees, this is not a big issue, but those who prefer a modern urban feel will find it lacking in vibrancy. Second, safety is uneven. There are very quiet and livable areas, but there are also areas you need to avoid, just like many other low-cost cities in the Rust Belt. People who move here often choose the west side and the suburbs for better safety. Even so, Youngstown still offers what millions of Americans are desperately seeking: a place that is not expensive, not noisy, and doesn't require you to trade your health just to pay rent. This is not paradise, but it is a place where you can truly breathe. 9 Omaha, Nebraska, a rare large city where 1,120 USD month is enough for you to live comfortably in the true sense. Have you ever thought that in an increasingly expensive America, there still exists a city of nearly 500,000 people, safe, clean, and affordable enough for you to retire without fearing the monthly bills? Omaha is the answer that makes many viewers stop and watch a few more minutes, just to make sure they didn't mishear. What makes Omaha different is not just the cost. It's the feeling of stepping into a big city that is not chaotic at all. Wide roads, light traffic, friendly Midwest neighbors, and a balanced pace of life that lets you breathe out gently from the very first day you arrive. A one-bedroom apartment costs $901,200 USD, utilities and internet are within $150-$190 USD, and food costs $320-$380 USD, all creating a rare truth. This is a large city, but cheaper than many small towns on the east and west coasts. But Omaha is not just cheap. It is livable in a way that many other places are not. Old Market, with its classic red brick, small cafes, cozy restaurants, more than 250 parks spread across the city, riverfront trails along the Missouri that stay cool in the summer, and golden autumn afternoons that make you want to bring a book and disappear for a few hours. This is the kind of city that makes retirees feel like they are still living within a community, not hiding in a corner just to save money. Healthcare is also a strong highlight of Omaha. Nebraska Medicine and CHI Health are considered the best healthcare systems in the Midwest. Medical costs are lower than in major cities, but the quality is stable, helping retirees feel more secure about their older years. The four-season climate brings a pleasant sense of change. Clear spring, warm summer, breathtakingly beautiful autumn, and snowy winters that are not too harsh. This is a city soft enough to live slowly, but big enough to never feel boring. Omaha also has a few imperfections, such as property taxes higher than you might expect, but they are not big enough to overshadow the truth. This is one of the rare cities in America where your retirement money truly has value, and where life at 60 or 70 can still begin again in a much gentler way. If these cities are making you think, wait, how did I never know about places this affordable? Then remember to hit like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll keep bringing you videos that make retirement a whole lot easier to breathe. 8. San Antonio, Texas. The city where you live like a wealthy person, even though your income is only average. Have you ever wondered why thousands of Americans are quietly leaving California and Florida to move to a city in Texas, where their retirement money suddenly stretches twice as far? San Antonio is the reason. This is not just a cheap city. It is a place where you feel like you still have a future, even if your income is only at Social Security level. The difference begins right from the cost of living. In San Antonio, $1,722 USD month is enough for one person to live comfortably. A one-bedroom apartment at only $1,250 USD, food $320-$380 USD, utilities and internet $150-$190 USD. And the thing retirees love most, no state income tax. The money you earn, retirement income, savings, is yours, not eroded month after month like in other states. But San Antonio is appealing not just because it's cheap, it's appealing because it's vibrant, a city of 500,000 people, but carrying the warmth of a small town. Morning walks along the River Walk, Tex-Mex restaurants filled with the smell of grilled corn and spices, historic neighborhoods where every brick carries traces of Mexico-Spain blended culture. This is a place where you can live slowly without feeling left behind. In addition, San Antonio's healthcare system is among the strongest in Texas. Methodist Hospital, UT Health San Antonio, Baptist Health System. All are high-quality healthcare facilities, but medical costs are more affordable than in major cities like Austin or Dallas. For retirees, this feels like a daily mental insurance. The climate here is warm for most of the year. golden sunshine, blue skies, mild winters. For many older adults, simply not having to endure a freezing winter is enough for them to choose this place as home. San Antonio has a few drawbacks. Summers are sometimes hot, and some areas should be avoided for safety. But these are not big enough to overshadow the truth. This is one of the rare cities in the U.S. where you don't need to be rich to live a rich life. Rich in sunshine, rich in community, rich in peace of mind. San Antonio is not just cheap. It is the place where life comes back to you. 7. Albuquerque, New Mexico. The city where sunshine, mountains, and low costs meet. Have you ever wished for a place that has year-round sunshine, dry air that's good for your health, mountain views as beautiful as a painting, while the cost of living still stays within reach for someone living on Social Security? Albuquerque is the answer that many Americans only believe after they set foot there. Here, $1,650 to $1,100 USD per month is enough for one person to live comfortably. A one-bedroom apartment costs only about $900 $150 USD, food $300-350 USD, utilities $150 $200 USD. Healthcare costs are also gentle, while the medical system, UNM Hospital, Presbyterian, Lovelace, is among the strongest in the Southwest. This is the rare city where you can save money, feel secure about healthcare, and not have to sacrifice your quality of life. But Albuquerque is not just cheap. It is beautiful in a way that is very hard to describe. In the morning, the sun turns the Sandia Mountains pink, a kind of light people elsewhere only see in postcards. In the afternoon, you can walk through Old Town, listen to street music, admire art shops in Mexican and Native American styles. With 300 days of sunshine a year, the spirits of older adults are almost always bright, not humid, not heavy, not gloomy like the Northeast in winter. Albuquerque is also a paradise for those who love to live slowly. Farmers markets, cactus gardens, cultural festivals, light hiking around the desert, evenings sitting on a hill watching the city lights. This is the kind of city that makes you feel a few years younger simply because its pace of life is so gentle. Of course, it is not perfect. There are a few weeks of summer that are a bit hot, and some areas you should avoid for better safety. But for those looking for a place that is warm, cheap, beautiful, and good for their health, those drawbacks are so small they almost disappear. Albuquerque is not just a place to live cheaply. It is where you live again. Through sunlight, through dry, light air, and through a life that is never too late to begin. If this video is helpful, remember to like and subscribe so I can continue bringing you places that are easier to live than America in the next videos. 6. Pueblo, Colorado. Where every morning begins with the slow breath of a city that is not in a hurry. Early mornings in Pueblo always have a very distinct image. Elderly people walking their dogs along the Arkansas Riverwalk, a steaming cup of coffee in hand. The sun just rising behind the Rockies, turning the river water into a soft shade of gold. People here greet each other with short, friendly phrases, the kind of greeting from a city that is more familiar with peace than rush. If you've lived in places where every morning feels like a race, Pueblo will make you feel like you've stepped into a different version of America. Lighter, gentler, and truly more livable. In Pueblo, the first impressive thing is not the low cost, but the feeling of enough. Enough safety to walk every afternoon. Enough nature to keep your spirit bright. Enough culture so that life is never dull. The cost of living for one person is around $1,700 to $2,200 USD per month. A clean one-bedroom apartment is only $850 $1,000 USD, and more than 300 days of sunshine a year make Pueblo a wonderful place for older adults who want to avoid harsh winters but still love clearly defined 4 seasons. Pueblo also has a rare characteristic: the blend of Southwest and Hispanic cultures. From green chile shops filled with the strong aroma of peppers to colorful street festivals, this city has its own identity, unmistakable within Colorado. The healthcare system is strong, the environment is clean, traffic is light, and housing costs are the lowest among Colorado cities with warm climates. Of course, Pueblo still has a few areas you should avoid, and summers can sometimes be a bit hot. But these are small compared to everything this city offers. A place where retirement money does not make you anxious, and where daily life does not exhaust you. If you have ever lived in or visited Pueblo, please leave a comment. What is the thing you remember most about Pueblo? Maybe your answer will be what helps someone else find the place to start their life again. 5. Tulsa, Oklahoma. The city that surprises everyone who visits because it is much better than you imagine. There are cities you've heard about for years, but when you arrive, they feel ordinary. And then there are places like Tulsa, places you only understand why they are special when you actually live there. Tulsa is not noisy, not flashy, but it leaves a very deep impression on anyone visiting for the first time. The first thing people remember about Tulsa is the sky. The sunsets here look hand-painted, shades of orange, purple, and pink spreading across a sky so wide you feel like you're standing before an ocean of light. Older people often say that the Tulsa sky alone is enough to make every day feel worth living. The cost of living is also a reason many Americans are surprised. $1,600 to $2,100 USD per month for one person is enough to live comfortably. Renting a one-bedroom for $900 $1,250 USD, food $300 $350 USD, utilities $150 $180 USD. No state income tax for Social Security, housing cheaper than many nearby cities. All of this creates the feeling of being more livable than its price tag. But the deepest impression of Tulsa lies in its blend of urban living and art. The Gathering Place, a riverside park along the Arkansas that cost hundreds of millions of dollars, makes visitors say, "I didn't know Tulsa had something like this." The Art Deco architecture downtown, the live music nights, indie cafes, artist communities, small studios, street murals, all create a Tulsa with its own character, soft yet very captivating. Healthcare in the city is also a major plus. St. Francis Health System and Hillcrest Medical Center are highly rated in the region, ensuring older adults can feel secure in their later years. The four-season climate is mild, with beautiful autumn, lush green spring, and a moderate winter. People who prefer warm weather will like Tulsa, not as hot as Texas, not as cold as Michigan. Drawbacks? There are a few areas to avoid at night, and spring sometimes brings strong winds. But for most people living here, that is just a small piece in a much larger picture of comfort. Tulsa is not a place you hear about in the news every day, but it is a place you remember long after you leave. If you have ever lived in Tulsa or visited, please leave a comment. What is the thing that impressed you most about this city? 4. Knoxville, Tennessee. The place where you slow down the right way. Morning in Knoxville always carries a very distinct sense of peace. An old man walks his dog across Gay Street Bridge. The sun turns the water golden, and the Smoky Mountains in the distance are covered in a thin cinematic mist. Just standing still for a few minutes, you will understand why so many Americans leave big cities to spend the rest of their lives here. What impresses people most about Knoxville is its balanced rhythm of life. Not too noisy, not too dull, slow enough for you to breathe, but lively enough so no day feels the same. With a cost of only $1,650 $2,200 USD per month, one person can live comfortably. A one-bedroom for $950 $1,250 USD. Utilities 170, 220 USD. Food and daily living 450, 550 USD. Tennessee does not tax Social Security, making Knoxville one of the destinations that is budget-friendly, but still high quality to live in. But what truly makes Knoxville leave a mark lies in the city's personality. Small city, big nature. Just a 45-minute drive, and you reach the Great Smoky Mountains, the most visited national park in the United States. Fiery red autumn forests, cold streams, green hiking trails. The kind of natural scenery you can hardly find in any other city on this list. Knoxville's culture is also very real. Market Square on weekends has live music, farmers markets, food festivals, while Old City is full of cafes and street artists. This is the kind of city where you feel it's easy to blend into the community, not lost the way you might in cities that are too large. Healthcare? University of Tennessee Medical Center is a solid anchor for older adults. Weather? Mild winter, beautiful fall, green spring, summers sometimes hot and humid, but still more pleasant than much of the South. Knoxville is the place that makes you ask yourself, have I been living too fast and forgotten what peace feels like? If you've ever visited Knoxville, leave a comment. What is the thing you remember most about this city? 3. Detroit, Michigan. The cheapest city in America is undergoing a powerful revival. Detroit has something very strange. You walk on an old street, see a newly opened coffee shop right next to a building being renovated, as if the whole city is reinventing itself. And this very rebirth creates a rare opportunity for retirees to live cheaply, live comfortably, yet still live in a city with a soul. Detroit is one of the lowest cost places in the country. One person can live comfortably on $1,450, $1,900 USD per month. Renting a one-bedroom apartment is only $850, $150 USD, utilities over $180 USD, food $400, $500 USD. Homes for purchase are also surprisingly cheap, $120,000, $180,000 USD for a house in a revitalizing area like Midtown, Corktown, or West Village. What makes Detroit different is its vibrant urban culture. Street art, small galleries, soul food restaurants, craft beer, and the Detroit Riverwalk. The Riverfront Walkway ranked among the most beautiful in the country. For retirees who enjoy light activities, culture, and closeness, Detroit has a very unique appeal. Healthcare is strong with Henry Ford Health and Detroit Medical Center. The climate has snow, but in return, the fall-summer seasons are very beautiful. 2 small drawbacks. Some areas still have crime, and winter is long. But if you choose the right safe neighborhoods, Detroit gives you something many other cities cannot. Low cost, but high quality of life. Where are you living? Among these 10 cities, which one makes you the most curious? 2. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. A rare large city that is still easy to live in for retirees. There was one morning I stood in Rittenhouse Square, older people walking their dogs, others sitting drinking coffee under the trees, and in the park, a few street musicians playing jazz. Philadelphia gives you the feeling of a big city, but not too noisy, not too expensive, a balance that few metros still keep. The cost of living for one person is around $1,350, $2,400 USD per month, nearly 20% lower than New York or Boston. Renting a one-bedroom in safe areas like Fishtown, Manayunk, or East Falls is usually $100, $350 USD, utilities $180, $220 USD, food $450, $550 USD. Homes to buy are also easy to breathe, $220,000, $320,000 USD, surprisingly cheap for a major metro city. Philadelphia is especially suitable for retirees who love culture, healthcare, convenient mobility. The city has some of the best hospital systems in the country. Penn Medicine, Jefferson Health, Temple Health. Public transportation is strong, the streets are walkable, and countless parks like Fairmount Park, Wissahickon Valley, perfect for slow living and healthy living. In terms of lifestyle, Philly has its own character. Arts, museums, diverse cuisine. Don't just think about cheesesteak. A multicultural community and countless free activities year-round. Drawbacks? Some areas have crime and winter is quite cold, but choosing the right neighborhood, Philadelphia becomes one of the most livable big cities for retirement. Have you ever thought about retiring in Philly? Leave a comment. 1. Tallahassee, Florida. A city completely different from Florida, yet an ideal place to retire. There was one morning I walked past Lake Ella, an elderly lady reading a book under the oak trees, a few older people doing yoga by the lake, and some ducks leisurely swimming around. Tallahassee makes you forget that this is the capital of Florida. Not noisy, not suffocating with tourism, but a green, calm, gentle city that is extremely easy to live in for retirement age. The cost of living for one person is only about $1,750 to $2,300 USD per month, noticeably lower than Orlando, Tampa, or Miami. Renting a one-bedroom in safe neighborhoods like Midtown, Benton Hills, or Killern is usually $150 to $250 USD, utilities around $160 to $210 USD, food $400 to $500 USD. And if buying a home, $230,000 to $300,000 USD, much softer compared to the rest of Florida. Tallahassee is special for its nature. Wakulla Springs Trails, Alfred B. McClay Gardens, surrounding pine forests and lakes. For retirees who enjoy walking, fishing, biking, or simply living near greenery, this city is a paradise. Healthcare is also a strong point. Tallahassee Memorial, Healthcare, and Capital Regional Medical Center both have good quality. Comfortable traffic, little congestion, a friendly community with true Southern hospitality. Small drawbacks, hot, humid summers, and the housing market sometimes fluctuates with the student season. But if you want a Florida that is calmer, cheaper, greener, and still full of warm sunlight, Tallahassee is an extremely worthy option. What do you think? Is Tallahassee the Florida for people who love peace? Leave a comment. Finally, these 10 cities show a simple truth. Living more easily in America is still completely possible. You just need to choose the right place, where the costs are lighter, the community is friendlier, and life truly can breathe. Retirement is not the end, but the beginning of a new chapter. And sometimes, a different city is the key for you to live cheaper, healthier, and happier. Now I want to hear from you. Which city would you choose? If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe to continue exploring places that offer a better life for retirement.